Hello, everybody. My name... Well, I'm not gonna tell you my name, but I guess you could just call me Ace Thorn, since that's what this channel is named after. Or you could just call me Ace. I guess it's up to you. I've decided to try my hand at Let's Playing. The first game I've chosen, as you can see, is The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion. So, I suppose if this works out, great. If it doesn't, what the hell? I gave it my best shot. I would ask that you at least be a little lenient on me in the first couple of months. I am new to this. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we?
I was born 87 years ago. For 65 years, I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Oh, damn. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you get an intro to a game. You get the narrator from What If We Had No Moon, and you get him to do the voice. I'm sure he did some other stuff I'm not familiar with. So, we're gonna be... I'm gonna be doing a playthrough of Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion, but you saw something in the title of this video you didn't see that I haven't done yet. That's right. We're going off the deep end here. I have found only 2 playthroughs of Oblivion on maximum difficulty. 2 of them. Maybe there are others on YouTube. I haven't found them. Basically, there's one definitive way to play Oblivion on max difficulty. Now, if you've never played Oblivion before, why are you here? But if you've never played Oblivion before and you've only played Skyrim, and you're here for whatever reason, let me tell you something right now. This is not legendary difficulty on Skyrim. This is not even survival difficulty on Fallout 4. Maximum difficulty in Oblivion is basically the game just raffle-stomping you and giggling. So, on max difficulty, there's basically one definitive way to play this game. If you don't play it this way, you're pretty much gonna take it up the butt. the two Let's Plays that I've found on YouTube that played Oblivion on max difficulty, one of them never figured out this correct way. The other one stumbled upon it by pure accident. Basically, the way to play this game on Oblivion is what I like to refer to as the Laffy-Wick-Sick-Lab approach, which basically stands for let allies fight for you while you cower in the corner like a bitch. So, you want to see exactly what that playthrough entails? Let's continue. Race. You cannot simply select whichever race you want. Don't just select the race you think is the coolest. There are some racial abilities that are completely useless on max difficulty, and others that you pretty much cannot live without. Imperial. You can get a lot of money in the early games. Whoop-de-doo! I'm sorry, but the Imperial's powers of persuasion are not going to come in very handy when you're getting 6 swords stabbed in from 20 different directions. And yes, that can happen on max difficulty, even though you'd think it's supposed to be impossible. I mean, let me put it to you this way. The difficulty in Oblivion does not affect anything except combat. So, any benefits you get that aren't combat related, no good. So, Imperials are off the table. Khajiit. Good for stealth. I suppose, yeah, stealth can be handy on max difficulty. But at the same time, there are times when the game will simply force you into combat and there is simply no escape. So, when a Khajiit gets forced into combat on max difficulty, he is cat litter. So no, we're not going to be playing as a Khajiit. Nords. Now, here's a race that actually gets some combat bonuses. However, aside from the extra health, which basically lets you take 2 more hits than you normally would be able to, Nords just aren't cutting the mustard. They're better than Imperials, they're better than Khajiits, but we are not going to be playing with a Nord on this playthrough. Orcs. Same as Nords. They're good at head-to-head combat, but the thing is, on max difficulty, you're just not... Head-to-head combat just isn't going to be cutting the mustard. Red Guard. Again, head-to-head combat. No good. Wood Elf. Now this is another stealth-focused character, but he has a few perks. Obviously, he can use his greater power once a day to command animals. That has the potential to be pretty useful. Under the Laffy-Wick-Sick-Lab approach, you're going to need allies to fight for you, and the Wood Elf has the ability to summon allies from nearby. Let's come back to him. Argonians. Forget it. I mean, in lore, I know the Argonians have a cult following, but in lore, they really are kind of a not very successful race. They've only ever been slaves in Morrowind, and they basically learned about the Oblivion crisis before it happened, and that's quite literally the extent of their successes. On max difficulty, that is basically what they're like in gameplay. They are essentially worthless. Natural immunities to diseases and poisons. Poisons are the least of your concerns on max difficulty. They can breathe underwater. This isn't Skyrim. When you're underwater, you're still vulnerable to attack. Enemies can attack you underwater. So, being able to breathe underwater is not going to give you any kind of reprieve. And good at picking locks, sorry, I can pick locks just fine on my own. So we're not going to be playing as an Argonian. So far, Wood Elf is not only the best option, but it's the only option that isn't complete trash. Breton. Okay, now, here's a guy who could actually handle himself in the late game. His 50% resistance to magic, if he just puts on a single item, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because if you haven't played this game, why are you here? But if you haven't played this game, I'm going to keep that as a surprise for the 3 of you who haven't played this game and yet are still going to watch this. But he can just put on a single item, and boom, he's immune to all magic. At max difficulty, that is a godsend. The problem is that at lower levels, he's still gonna suck balls. Sure, he can be OP in the late game, but if he isn't OP in the early game, he's not gonna get that far. So, although he's better than everybody except Wood Elves up to this point, Wood Elves are still superior. Dark Elves. The ability to summon ghosts to aid you in battle. On max difficulty, this is the sort of stuff we're looking for. Laffy with Sick Lab, people. You need allies. This guy can create allies on demand. So, right now it's a tie between Wood Elf and Dark Elf. And boom, this is the guy. This right here, this is the guy we'll be using for the majority of our playthroughs. The High Elf. Oh sure, he doesn't have any summon spells, at least not right now. But he'll have some before we even finish the tutorial. But also, more importantly, he has a huge magicka pool, and we are going to need that extra magicka if we're going to get anywhere on max difficulty. Oh, sure, he's vulnerable to fire, frost, and shock, but let's be honest here. At max difficulty, those kinds of enemies are going to be one-shotting you anyway. This 25% weakness to fire, frost, and shock damage, it's completely redundant. So we are going to be playing as a High Elf after exiting the tutorial. For the tutorial, at least. And don't worry, we can change our race at the end. For the tutorial, we're going to be playing as a Wood Elf. So now we got to name him. I'll just give him this name that kind of vaguely sounds elvish. So everything from this point on, this is just aesthetics. So I'm not going to bother with that because it doesn't have any effect on gameplay. So let's get started. First thing we got to do.
Hey,
crouch.
Wood Elf, you're a little far from the forest, huh? Looks like your days of woodland frolicking have come to a tragic end. To go from the gladed realm of Valenwood to a rat-infested hole like this, how very sad. Those walls must feel like they're closing in on you. Pretty soon you'll go mad, and the guards will cut your throat just to stop the ranting. That's right. You're going to die in here, Wood Elf. Die. Hey, you hear that? The guards are coming. For you.
Boris, lock
Okay, so what I just did was I crouched and I walked into this gate, and then as you can see, my sneak skill is going up. Of course, now that they see me, now that they know I'm here, my sneak skill isn't going to go up anymore, so I'm going to
right now is to get you to safety. What's this prisoner
back
doing
up against
here?
this wall.
This cell is supposed to be off limits.
Usual mix-up with the watch.
Never mind. Get that gate open. Stand back, prisoner. We won't hesitate to kill you if you get in our way.
No sign of pursuit. Stay put, prisoner.
Good. Let's go. We're not out of this yet.
You. I've seen you. Let me see your face. You are the one from my dreams. Then the stars were right. And this is the day. Gods give me strength.
So the narrator from What If We Had No Moon, turns out he's the Emperor. And now we're forced into a conversation whether we wanted to be or not.
Assassins attacked my sons, and I am next. My blades are leading me out of the city along a secret escape route. By chance, the entrance to that escape route leads through your cell.
Who the hell are you?
I am your emperor, Uriel Septim. By the grace of the gods, I serve Tamriel as her ruler. You are a citizen of Tamriel, and you too shall serve her in your own way.
Okay, well, why the hell did I just magically appear in this jail cell? I mean, I didn't even exist a couple of minutes ago, and now all of a sudden I'm in jail? The hell?
Perhaps the gods have placed you here so that we may meet.
Oh, sure.
As for what you have done, it does not matter.
Fuck you.
That is not what you will be remembered for.
Ugh. Yeah.
So do we all. But what path can be avoided whose end is fixed by the almighty gods?
Please, sire, we must keep moving. Better not close this one. There's no way to open it from the other side.
Looks like this is your lucky day. Just stay out of our way.
Oh, shoot. Well, sorry about the darkness. I actually tried a testing footage on this once. I cranked the brightness up all the way.
Close.
And it didn't even seem any brighter in the finished product. So I'm sorry about the brightness. I'm sorry about the darkness. Until I get a light spell, you're just gonna, or a torch, you're just gonna have to put up with it. Okay, so I'm gonna jump off here.
Close up left. Protect the
These
Emperor.
guys.
The captain's down.
I'll take this potion. Thank you.
For the Emperor! Die, damn you!
Okay. I don't normally use torches, but just for your guys' sake, this is... because this would suck if I
Are
did.
you all right, sire? We're clear for now.
Captain,
She's dead.
Potion. Nice.
Stand aside, prisoner. How could they
There's
be
trouble
waiting for us
ahead.
here? Don't know, but it's too late to go back now. Don't worry, sire. We will get you out of here.
They won't be the first to underestimate the blades.
Alright, I'm gonna pause this right here. There's a set piece coming up. This is the only time in the tutorial when you are forced to face two enemies at once.
I'll
That
take point. Let's move.
is why I'm
Stay here,
on
prisoner.
this ledge. Because the enemies can't get me from here. So I'm gonna quit my one means of attacking from a distance that I have this early in the game.
Don't try to follow us.
And I'm going to save. And we're gonna end the episode here. Yeah, I'm leaving you on a cliffhanger. Hey, I'm new here. Give me some time to get some experience. So if you want to actually see what maximum difficulty actually does to a player, Tune in next time, and we'll see just how brutal this maximum difficulty can get. I'm Acer Thorn, and until next time, I say QQQ.